Welcome to the Flywheel Podcast. This show is for entrepreneurs and creative free thinkers. Each week, we share ideas to help you build a better business that's more focused on building a life rather than just making money. I'm Victor Jimenez. To stay up to date on the latest shows, visit theflywheelpodcast.com, where you can get notes on all the shows and sign up to receive updates. So today, my guest is Shola Abidoye. Shola is an entrepreneur, and I'll let her tell you a little bit more about her business in a minute. So today we're talking about how by working on personal development things and discovering more about yourself as a founder, and how that can actually translate into sales in your business and how you can grow your sales. So Shola tells the story of how she actually took some time off in the last year and went down to Mexico and really did a lot of personal development work, and how that actually grew her business faster while she was doing less and doing more of this personal development stuff. I talk about in the introduction to this podcast, making money, that you're not as concerned with making money. But here's the thing is, if your business does not make money, you can't really have an impact, because you need the money to be sustainable. So you do need to make money. And Shola and I get into that a little bit. And when I say personal development, I'm talking about, what Shola did is sort of did a lot of work to discover those unique things that she can do, only she can do. And as a founder or owner, you're uniquely capable of doing one thing better than anybody. And so we talk about the 80-20 principle and some other stuff, and it's a really great, we have a great conversation, and here we go. So Shola, welcome to the Flywheel Podcast. Took us a while to get you on here, but you're here.
Thanks for having me on the show. How are you today, Victor?
Doing awesome. So today, I thought we'd talk a little bit about your journey and how that, I know that you said you've been working on some lifestyle stuff and some personal development. And I want to talk about sort of that stuff. And then later on the show, get into how that actually translates into sales and how people can use that kind of stuff in their business. So why don't you just give us a little bit of background of sort of what you've done over the last year or so?
Sure, happy to do that. So right now I am really passionately involved with our work at CONVERTPort, where I am the founder and chief revenue officer. And our big vision really is to help as many entrepreneurs as possible over the next 60 months. And I use the term 60 months quite deliberately, and we'll talk about goal setting and stuff like that often. But our vision really is to help as many entrepreneurs as possible get off the feast and famine sales cycle. So that's what I wake up in the morning thinking about. That's what we often talk about. And before that, I really was involved heavily doing performance marketing, several other startups. I had a really traditional career right out of a top tier school, doing the investment banking thing, the consulting thing. And then on the whim, this is during the first Web.1 boom, I actually quit my job and moved to Ghana for a while to work on a startup. Then, like most people, when your professional trajectory doesn't go the way you wanted to, you go to graduate school, right? So I sort of had that traditional corporate background, and then I did the entrepreneurial thing. But to sum things up, I really realized that entrepreneurship was really the only path to having me enjoy the lifestyle that I want. And that's why I'm just so ridiculously and unapologetically excited about talking about it anytime I can.
So what is that sort of lifestyle right now? What you're doing and where do you live and that sort of thing?
Sure. Well, right now I just have come back from, and I say this with not 1 ounce of embellishment here, the most magical, serene, effervescent, pleasurable like just 14 months of complete equanimity that I spent in northern Mexico and Baja. So the year before that had, by all accounts, been literally the most stressful year of my life, and this includes having lost, unfortunately, a a sibling in several years ago. And
Mm,
basically, what happened is that I decided that I wanted to spend some time abroad, really getting in touch with what I want the next phase of my entrepreneurial life to look like. And so I had been in Mexico before, and I just realized that I wanted to go back there just because I love the beach. I recently read Mirror, which is one of the largest newspapers in the UK, an
mhm.
article that talked about the fact that being close to the beach, there's some science behind.